As the account owner, or admin, you're going to spend some time here in Transform Central. Think of it as the operations center for Transform. This is where you can add users to your account, design new forms, review and process the data you've collected, and a lot more. When you're first starting, it can seem a little daunting with all the options and tabs, and Transform does do some things differently than other systems you may be used to. Well, let me take you on a little tour, and I think you'll quickly see how it works. Starting here at the top is the navigation bar, and it's divided into 5 tabs. You can see here Home, Dashboard, Designer, Permissions, and Management Console. In this video, we're going to look at the Home tab. This tab is really just for settings related to your account, so you're not going to spend a lot of time at home, just enough to get things set up. So let's run through these settings now, and I'd like to start by drawing your attention to the top right of the screen. Up here you'll see my name, my account name, and the amount of time left in the session. For security reasons, you need to re-log in to Alpha Transform every 2 days. So when your login expires, just click anywhere in this area to log back in. Now let's go over to the left side of the screen and look at the options there, and we'll go through them one by one. Alright, so over here on the left we have the various settings that you have for your account. The display name, that's the name that appears up here and will appear on your forms as well. Change password, I think you probably know what that does. Change preferences, that one's kind of interesting. When you click on change preferences, you can decide, think of this more as like the notifications area. This is where you could decide whether or not you want to be alerted by SMS or by email if a new form is assigned to you. All you do here is just basically turn on the options that you like, fill in a phone number, and that's all you need to do. Okay, so down here to account settings is next. And this is where you enter in a license key if you have a paid account, which goes beyond, say, the free or the free tier or the trial account. Account name, right now mine is called Dave Experiments, but you can name it anything that you like. And keep in mind, as a user, you can have multiple accounts. So you can go ahead and click this, for example, and say create a new account, give it a new name, and using your same username and password, you'll see that account in your list of accounts when you log in. Change preferences is used basically for setting up those notifications I talked about a moment ago. So when an SMS message is sent to you or an email message is sent to you, you can decide how that's formatted. We already have that set up for you, so you may not have to change this at all. But if you want to customize it later on, that's where it lives. So change preferences. Next up, under user management, this is where you're going to add users to your account. All you need to do is just put in their email address, click add user, and they will get an invitation. If they don't already have a Transform account of their own, in other words, they don't have a username and password, they'll be prompted to create one. If they do, for example, they already have a Transform account, then they'll be prompted to join your account. Delete reorder users, that just removes people from your account and puts them in a different order. Manage user roles, that one's kind of interesting. That allows you to decide what each person on your account is allowed to do. Are they allowed to fill in forms? Are they allowed to go to Management Console and look at the data that's been collected and all of that? That's all controlled here under the Permissions tab, but this is where you set it up under Manage User Roles. And then over here, invite users. You're probably not going to use this unless you're a big enterprise and you want to invite a whole bunch of people at the same time. It's a really advanced feature which actually lets you create a whole bunch of accounts at the same time. It lets you automatically put them into user roles. It lets you set their passwords and things like that. So again, an advanced feature. If you're just adding a few people to your account at a time, you're just going to use the add users to account here under user management. The last 3 are really for developers for doing a little bit more advanced things in Transform. So for under developer options, for example, we have get API key and revoke API key so that you can make calls into the Transform system to do really all kinds of things. You can create forms, you can add users, you can retrieve data and other things. We have some built-in what we call on-submit events. These are things that happen when a form is saved. So you can actually write that back to a SQL database. You can send an email. You can create a report. You can save a copy to Google or to Dropbox. There's some other things you can do as a developer. For integrations, we won't really cover these here. Again, a more advanced feature. Zapier is a really cool third-party workflow system that we work with, and connected applications is just where you set up account criteria when you are using some of these developer options here. And then down here, more where we have dispatch forms and release notes. Dispatch forms is for sending a whole bunch of forms at once to a whole bunch of different users. An advanced feature that we will cover later on. Release notes just tell you what happened in the latest version of Transform. So I hope that sort of demystifies it. The only ones you're really going to need at first are going to be your display name. You'll probably want to change that. You may want to change preferences when it comes to how you are being notified. And you may want to change your account name. In fact, you probably do, as you'll get an account name that looks something like account number, 5722. You'll probably want to give that a sensible name. And then you'll want to add some users to your account. So that is the Home tab. I hope that made it easier for you, and thank you for watching.